Let's talk about Spotify's new discovery mode, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hey, it's John here at Hyped It, and in this video I want to talk to you about Spotify's new discovery mode. It's a way to get a bigger audience, so what's not to love, right? But in this video I want to dive deeper and share with you my thoughts on the good, the bad, and the ugly. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the bell icon below so that you can get more videos like this on YouTube about how to reach and get more fans for your music. Now first, let's start talking about what Spotify's discovery mode actually is. According to Spotify, discovery mode is a tool for music marketers designed to help you find new listeners when it matters to you most. And essentially what it is, it's presented as a tool to give your track a higher likelihood of picking up some algorithmic streams. For a song to be eligible, it just needs to have been out on Spotify for at least 30 days. It needs to have been streamed on Spotify Radio or Autoplay in the last 7 days. And it needs to have been released through one of the participating distributors. And usually those are the pay-for-service distributors, where you basically just pay a flat fee or you pay a price per release, rather than the distributor earning a share of your royalties. And if one or more of your songs meet these requirements, you can select them for discovery mode inside Spotify for Artists. Next question is, how much does it cost? And the good news is that there is no upfront cost to discovery mode. Spotify gets paid for discovery mode by collecting a 30% commission on the streaming royalties from those streams that are being contributed to you by discovery mode. So whenever your song gets streamed through discovery mode, rather than earning the full amount of royalties associated with those streams, you're basically giving 30% of that back to Spotify, therefore reducing the amount of money that you make per stream in discovery mode down to 70%. So with all of this out of the way, now let's get to it. And let's start with the good. As an independent artist, growing your audience and fan base is usually the number one priority. Anything that helps with it is awesome. And with discovery mode being really easy to use and having no upfront cost, what's not to love, right? But not so fast. Let's talk about the bad. And that is, not all distributors are on board. My distributor, for example, doesn't support it. And that's because they are not a pay-for-service distributor, but an 80-20 split distributor, which means they distribute my music for free, but they get compensated by taking a 20% share of all the royalty revenue that comes in from all music stores. And that is pretty interesting that they are not opted in, because especially for a music distributor that is earning a share of all the royalties coming in, you would expect that they jump on a feature that could give an artist just more and more streams. So do they know something that we don't? Which brings me to the third point, the ugly. I love Spotify. I listen to music on Spotify, I promote my own music on Spotify, but at the end of the day, I believe the real goal of this feature is not so much to give independent music artists more exposure, but really to generate more revenue for Spotify. Look, there's nothing wrong with this. Spotify is a business. But what I've been missing in all the talk about Spotify's discovery mode is the discussion about the end game. And the key here is that the number of algorithmic streams that go around on Spotify and that can be shared between artists is a finite number. It's defined by how many fans come to Spotify every day and listen to music on Spotify. So if Spotify gives some songs a boost in exposure with discovery mode, it has to take that exposure away from other songs. And what this means is that ultimately, all music artists on Spotify will want to opt into Spotify's discovery mode, not to be left behind. But when everyone is opted into discovery mode and the overall number of algorithmic streams is finite, that means everybody's back to where they started. Spotify didn't actually create more streams to go around. Discovery mode is just a feature to impact the distribution of those streams. But with everyone opted in, which will eventually happen, everybody's just getting the same streams as before. With one important difference, now they are paying 30% commission back to Spotify on those streams. And that means nothing will have changed for us artists in terms of exposure, but Spotify will have given itself a nice financial bonus. So what does all that mean, and what should you do with Spotify's discovery mode? Here's what I would recommend. First, use discovery mode as fast as you can. The benefit really plays out in the early days, before everybody does it. If your music distributor isn't opted into discovery mode with Spotify, raise your voice, let them know, or you can always vote with your wallet and go to a different distributor. But over time, expect the impact on exposure from discovery mode to go down and eventually be gone. But expect the impact on your royalties, that 30% reduction on the algorithmic royalties, to stay. Now I know this doesn't all sound like good news, but the number one priority for most artists in our community is to grow their audience, get more listeners and fans, and raise their popularity. From what I'm hearing, this ranks above the goal of maximizing streaming royalties. And so that makes Spotify's discovery mode a no-brainer. Want to get your music heard on Spotify with AI? I just launched a brand new video training program called the Spotify Growth Switch, where I show you how to start growing real listeners, real fans, and real streams on Spotify in less than 10 minutes using software and AI. I've used the Spotify Growth Switch system to now grow my music to over 7 million streams and tens of thousands of monthly listeners on Spotify. This works for any music genre. It gets you real fans and listeners super fast, and it's extremely easy to set up, literally just like flipping a spotlight switch for your music. Despite using AI, you don't need to know nothing about tech stuff in order to be successful with this. I've had the tremendous privilege of helping multiple tens of thousands of music artists grow their music on Spotify, many of which have grown to much larger numbers, lots more listeners, lots more streams than I have using the systems that I've taught. Makes me so proud of their success. And so if you want to get more real listeners, real fans, and real streams for your music fast using state-of-the-art software and AI, then click the link below this video and check out the Spotify Growth Switch. I can't wait to help you grow your music on Spotify, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside.